Hey guys, how's it going? It's Molly. I'm here today to do a 3 looks, 1 palette and review of the e.l.f. Earth and Ocean palette. This is what it looks like. I had mentioned in a, I think, makeup wish list video that this was on my wish list. I did pick it up. I believe it was $14.99 at Target. In the video, the first look is a first impressions. The second and third look are after I've played with it for a little bit. And I do give a full-on review if I didn't already mention that. So if you are curious about how this palette performs, what my thoughts were, and the looks that I created, then you should just keep watching. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is some swatches for you guys so that you can see what the pigmentation looks like. Okay, so here is the first row swatched. I think that like kind of lime green at the bottom, towards the bottom there, is really pretty. Okay, here is the second row. Some of these metallics are just really, really pretty foiled, it looks like. Of course, my ring light is kind of washing a couple of them out, but like this shade here, I think is called Rock Bottom. If I turn my hand like that, you can see what the actual color is like, and then that's just how foiled it is. So that's really pretty. This like blue shade here seems, it's got kind of a fluffy sort of texture, so I don't know if that's more of a topper or what. Okay, and then here is the bottom row. Oh my gosh, this shade here, you can't even really tell, but it's just this beautiful iridescent sort of blue. This shade, I think it's called Fuji Feels. That's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what I'm going to do on my eyes today. So the two of these shades are kind of a strange, I wish I had more information on what these formulas are, but Tundra and Lagoon are both these like fluffy sort of shimmery shades. They're just a really interesting texture. I'm not sure what they are exactly. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the first impressions. I've already primed my lids with my Urban Decay primer. I'm going to start off, I think, with Desert Storm. It's kind of a greeny brown. So I just want to start off kind of lightly and build up. I have not set my primer, but I put it on a while ago, and so like it's not tacky anymore, I guess. Okay. So I think this is also my first time ever using e.l.f. eyeshadows. I've never tried the brand's eyeshadows before. And I think e.l.f. products, they make some really good things, but they also have some duds. So that one laid down is a transition shade. The next thing that I want to do, oh, I don't know what I want to do. There's so many things that I want to do with this palette, and there's so many shades that I want to try. So this is kind of tough. But I think I'm going to go into Spruced Up here, this matte green. Okay, there's quite a bit of kick up in the pan, but I'm going to take this directly into my crease and deepen up the outer V a little. I just realized I did not have my mic on that entire time, so I'm really sorry for the sound quality of the first few minutes of the video. I thought about starting over, but I don't have time. I have a doctor's appointment, so I am just going to roll with it, and now this pigmentation, or the sound quality, will be better. I'm gonna take that initial fluffy brush and just work to kind of blend that out. It's a little patchy, it looks like. I don't know. Not terrible, like it's not something that I can't work with, but it certainly isn't the best matte that I've ever used. It's also not the worst. I almost said the terriblest. That's not a word. Okay, I'm gonna try it on a different brush because it could have been that that brush just is not a good fit for that shadow. So I'm kind of packing and then blending. I'm gonna go into Mojave Miami to see if I can get those colors to blend in. I don't know. I think the undertone in that initial matte shade that I put down is just a little sickly. I can't really, it's too like pea green. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in the mood for that shade. Okay, now I'm going to take Sahara. On camera, it looks like a gold, but it's actually like a kind of a, chartreuse sort of shade. So I'm gonna take this on a flat shader brush and I'm gonna try taking it dry first to see how it, oh my God. Whoa. I was gonna say to see how it performs. It performs really well dry. Okay, so we know how it performs dry. Now, why not? We're gonna take it wet on the other eye and just see what the difference is. Okay, so there's the difference. It is more like bright green on this side, and then just more of a like kind of wash of green on this side. So I think on my outer V, even though I already have a color there, I'm going to go over it with Fuji Feels, this kind of brownish shimmery shade. Gosh, that's so pretty. I love it. I'm just gonna take it on my finger. And I'm overlapping that with the green just to kind of help everything blend together. I'm going to go back into Mojave, Miami? I don't know how to say that. Mojave? It's not Mojave. I think it's Mojave. Mojave? Dang. Okay. So I know I said that the mattes were a little patchy. They just take a little bit of finesse, but that's okay. Because I actually really like this eye look. So I'm just gonna clean it up with a wipe. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face off camera, and then I will be back to finish up the eye look and give you guys kind of my final thoughts on my, at least first impressions of this palette. Okay, I am ready to do the lower lash line. Okay, here's what I really want to do, but I'm not going to. But I really want to take this blue along my lower lash line. But I think I'm feeling inhibited because I'm meeting this new doctor for the first time. And I'm sure that she's not going to care. She's not going to be like, oh, green and blue eyeshadow, you're trash. But there's just something inside of me that feels uncomfortable with that. So, oh, but it would be so cool. You know what, screw it. I'm gonna do it. Who cares? Okay, so I'm gonna take Mojave, come on, Mojave, Miami. I need to Google how to pronounce Mojave or Mojave. Mojave? That's not it. Okay, anyways. So I'm taking that brown shade on my favorite lower lash line brush. Real Techniques Essential Crease. And truthfully, I'm having a hard time getting this to show up, and I don't know why. There's definitely a lot of kick up in the pan. I'm gonna see if I can show you guys. I don't know if it will work, but do you see that? Will it focus? It won't focus. I need a camera. That's what I need. All right. So it is a very like soft formula, which I know some people don't like, but it really doesn't bother me. This shade is needing quite a bit of building up to get to the color payoff that I'm wanting, but that doesn't, I don't know. It is what it is. Okay, I'm going to try going back into Desert Storm, see if I can get this any darker. That helped. All right, so I am going to take, it's called Drip Drip. So I'm gonna take that on a Real Techniques smudger brush, shader brush, I don't really know. And I'm gonna see how this works. Well, it's definitely in my eyeball, which is not the look that I was going for. Maybe this isn't the right one to use. Hang on, I'm gonna switch it up. Let me use a flat definer brush. I think that would be a better option, and it's not gonna fluff into my eyeballs. Just said that weird, eyeballs. So I am kind of placing this on my waterline. And then along my lash line as well. Typically when I do this, I pull my lower lid down a little bit so that it's not getting into my eye as much, but I'm not really able to do that while filming. Okay, so here is the final eye look with mascara done and my lower lash line done. I am really, so far, very impressed with this. Okay, so for look number 2, what I want to do is work with some of the browns over here. Specifically, I really want to put Fuji Feels on my lid. When I was doing swatches for the initial part of this video, I was like blown away by that. So to start with, I am going to take Mojave Miami on a Sigma E38, and I'm going to blow this into the crease. This is like a really powdery shade, and it does produce quite a bit of kick up, but that doesn't really bother me. And I'm wanting to keep this pretty low. Like, I feel like sometimes I get a little carried away with my transition shade and it gets way too high. So I don't want this to get too out of hand. Okay. And then on a Delium Tool 776 brush, I'm going to go into the green shade Spruced Up and just take a little bit of that shadow. And I'm going to place this directly into the crease and on my outer V. This shade is a little patchy. It just takes a little extra finesse, I think. Okay, and then I'm going back into Mojave Miami with that Sigma brush and helping to smooth out that transition. Okay, and then just on a fluffy brush, I'm going to blend those all together. There's this part of my lid over here that doesn't want to take any shadow. And it's not just with this palette, it's like with all eyeshadow palettes. So I'm just taking some time to kind of build up the pigment to where I want it. I think that eye's good. So to do that, I'm tapping the pigment on and then blending out. Okay, so we've got a base look done with some matte shadows. Now I'm going to take Fuji Feels on a flat shader brush. No, this is like a packing brush. can't remember the name of this kind of brush, but it's one like this, where it's flat. It's kind of like a paddle. And I am gonna take it wet. One thing that I noticed with the first look that I did, the green shimmer that I put all over my lid, so one side I used wet and the other side I used dry. The dry side, by the end of the day, there was creasing and it had faded like crazy. So using it wet helped it actually wear better. So, all right. So I'm assuming that this shimmer is going to perform the same as that one. I don't actually know because I haven't tested that theory. And then I'm taking that Sigma brush and I'm just blending out that edge a bit. Okay, let's do the lower lash line. I'm going to take, this is what is it? Essential Crease Brush from Real Techniques. Back into Mojave, Miami. I mean, yeah, I don't know if you guys can see the kick up there, but it's pretty intense. So I'm not gonna do anything crazy with my lower lash line today. I'm just gonna take this shade all along my lower lash line and deepen it up with the green shade, I think. Actually, I might deepen it up with something different. I don't know. Okay, and then I am taking Spruced Up, the green matte shade, on a shader brush and keeping this closer to the lower lash line. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish things off with a couple coats of my Lash Princess mascara. And I will be right back to show you guys the finished look. Okay, so here is what look number 2 is looking like. One thing that I wanted to mention is that even though these shades have some kick up in the pan, I'm not getting fallout on my face. So for me, that's all that really matters. Like, I don't care if my palettes end up dirty. I care if the shadow ends up on my face. I don't want that. It might also help that I'm using a fairly light hand, I guess, I don't know. And then I paired this eye look with the Bite Beauty Matte Creme Lip Crayon in Glacé. Doesn't really go with my cheek color, but oh well. Didn't think that far in advance. So, okay, and I will be back with look number 3 here in just a little bit. Okay, I am ready to tackle look number 3. So for the first look, I did greens, second look neutrals. This look, I'm gonna be doing blues. To start out with, on a Moda Pro crease brush, I'm gonna take this like periwinkle blue shade. So this is maybe a little outside of my comfort zone, but I'm going to use this as my transition shade. So I'm going to, like I said, use this as a transition. It seems to, ooh, it's actually kind of pretty. Wasn't sure what I was going to think about this shade, but so far, I like it. Now, I probably should have practiced this look before coming on camera to do it, but I didn't. I figure the worst thing that could happen is it'll turn out terrible and I'll just scrap the footage and start over. Okay, so this is building up pretty well. Right, wow, that's kind of crazy. I don't really ever wear blue eyeshadow. It just isn't necessarily something that's super inside my comfort zone, I guess. Okay, now I'm gonna take, sorry, that was the shade Oasis, and now I'm going to take this Abyss shade. Ooh, it is, the mattes are just so powdery. But I'm taking this on a Delium Tool 776 to deepen up my crease. Oh my. I feel like I need to use a bigger brush to blend that out. Okay. Deep breaths. It was just, it was more pigmented than I think I anticipated. And I am patting that on the outer corner, or the outer V, I guess is what it's called. I'm a bad beauty guru. Just, it's feeling a little patchy. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's a little bit of patchiness right above my iris, the center of my eye. That is pretty though. Why don't I wear blue? There's no real reason. I don't know. Okay, and then for my lid, I'm wanting to play with these two shades here. Siren and Underwater. And those are just some finger swatches. They may not look all that great together, but I don't know. I think it'll be pretty. So to do that, I'm gonna take Siren on a flat shader brush. Totally just dug my nail in a shadow. And I am gonna wet it because, like I said, I think I said in the second look that these tend to perform better wet. They last longer and have just more oomph. Okay, and then I'm going to take Underwater just on my ring finger, and I'm going to tap that on the outer portion of my lid. All right, and now for my lower lash line, I'm taking a Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush, and I'm gonna just take Abyss, and I'm going to buff this all along the lower lash. All right, and then on a flat shader brush, I am going to take Underwater and get this closer to the lash line. So we're really just kind of hugging the lash line with this shade. And even getting it in the waterline, which it's kind of a personal preference thing. If you have sensitive eyes, I would not put an eyeshadow in your lash line, or I mean in your waterline. Okay, and then I am gonna do a inner corner highlight, and I'm actually gonna use a brush for that today, which I typically don't. Typically I just use my finger because I don't do anything too crazy. But today I do want to use Saltwater, this like icy iridescent blue shade. It's absolutely beautiful, and I think it would be really pretty as an inner corner highlight. So on a, what are you, a Sigma smudge, E21 smudge brush, I'm just going to load that onto my brush and then pop it as you do, onto my inner corner. I wonder if I should do this one wet. Yeah, I think so. Oops. Totally missed the brush. It's not showing up all that well. So I am gonna use my finger, see what happens. Okay, so I finished off the look with a couple coats of Lash Princess mascara by Essence, and I did put on a lip. This is one of the Physicians Formula Healthy Lips. I have no idea what the shade is because it's been used and abused, and that wore off a long time ago. So I will come closer. This is the final look. Actually, I'm kind of liking it. Totally might have ruined the look with the inner corner highlight, but I don't really care. I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna eat a cookie as big as my face and watch Designated Survivor on the couch tonight, so it's all good. But yeah, you guys, I actually really like this palette. I haven't used all of the shades on my eyes. I've used 11 out of 18 shades. I feel like I have a good feel for how the shimmers perform. I like them wet best. Like I said, they stay on better for me, and they don't crease if they're wet. If I use them dry, then they crease on me. I don't understand the science behind that, but it is what it is. The two shades that I'm still not quite sure about because I haven't tried them, mainly because I'm afraid to, I'm worried that they could possibly ruin the look, is Lagoon and Tundra. So maybe let me just go ahead and put Lagoon on top of what I got going on today. I feel like they're topper shades, just like these sparkly, glittery shades. And they do put Tundra on the other eye. See what happens there. Oh my. Oh my. They're just a really strange formula. I take it back, actually. I did use Tundra, the silver shade. But it just adds a little sparkle. So I wish I knew what the formula was called, but they're not traditional shimmers. It has a name, but I can't remember what the name is. But yeah, these two shades are just, they're like this fluffy sort of shimmery glitter. And excuse me, I think would work best as toppers. But, you know, the mattes are not the best mattes I've ever tried. The shimmers aren't the best shimmers I've ever tried, but for the price and the variation in tones and colors and the versatility of this palette, I do think that it's worth it, and I like it for that reason. When I did the first impressions portion of the video, I had that doctor's appointment afterwards. Everywhere that I went that day, somebody was raving about my eyeshadow look. They were just like, your makeup is gorgeous. So, and I don't normally get like that amount of compliments on a single solitary eye look. So I think that says a lot also. But yeah, I am definitely happy that I bought this. This is, I feel like this adds something to my collection, whereas I can't say that about every purchase I make. Like I said, the versatility, the tones, I don't have anything like this. And that's what drew me to this palette to begin with. So I am really happy that I have it. Okay, that is all I have to say. I hope to do more looks with this on camera and off. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.